In Roosevelt Park off Michigan Avenue, under the looming shadow of the old Michigan Central Depot, there's a group of folks that meet up on Saturday afternoons. And though they come from different backgrounds and meet for different reasons, the connections made can have immediate results in the lives of many. Karen Gates has been coming out to Roosevelt Park since co-creating a charity group back in 2000. And by taking it to the streets, she's made quite a difference.
We formed in September of 2000 as the ARC Foundation. We became the association in the process of getting our tax exempt status. But what drove us here was we were down in the corridor with everybody else, down by NSO, Martin Luther King, Cass Corridor. Everybody knows Corridor's got a lot of organizations that are down there. You see a lot of people that congregate there that are in need, great need in the area. And we went down there, but we were tripping all over other organizations when we were doing it just once a month. And we thought, well, this isn't good. I was like, this is like, how can people possibly use all of this in one day? And then it's going to rot or they're going to get sick because they're trying to hoard the food and make it last. And so we stepped back and we just started looking around, and that's when we came here to Roosevelt Park. I can't tell you all the numbers of people's lives that we've touched on a one-on-one, and that's what it's about for us. It's not about food and clothing, even though that's what we started with, because it's real easy to get people to want to feed the hungry and clothe the naked. It's just a natural thing within us. We want to help people. And now, as you can see, we have an entire buffet behind us, and the buffet is different every week, unless two groups happen to make mustard choli in a row. But other than that, what we do is we serve people with, first of all, love, respect, dignity. We give them the power of choice, because that's one of the things that you lose first when you wind up in a place that you're out on the streets. And so that's real important, and for us, it's all about the relationship building.
It's through these relationships that people get to know one another better, and in the process let their guard down, which in turn can build bonds of trust that could eventually spark a light of hope to someone down on their luck. Darrel and Nancy Karl come down to Roosevelt Park for the same relationships with the homeless, but they were inspired by a story with an all-too-common tale of a loved one losing their home.
Well, it started up in Lansing with our nephew, who at one point in time was homeless for several months.
He went through a divorce, and he didn't want to let everybody know that he was homeless, lost everything. So he was on the streets for about 6 to 9 months. He worked every day at GM and worked, stayed in the streets at night.
Karl's nephew, Mike, believes his life was saved by the charity of those who lived out on the streets with him. After getting back on his feet, Mike Karl became solicitous about helping the homeless in the Lansing area and started the nonprofit group, the Homeless Angels. And it was Mike's success with the homeless in the Lansing area that inspired the Karls to open a branch right here in Detroit.
And then I got sick and I couldn't make the travel, so we decided, my wife, my daughter, my stepson, or my grandsons and stuff. This is all family. We're all family one way or another.
There's a need everywhere, so we might as well, do it down here, and we got our family involved with it. Basically what we brought out were coats, gloves, hats, scarves, some boots that we had.
And we just take donations, and we come out here with Karen every third Saturday, and then we go downtown and we pass out food or whatever we can do to help. And we help not only the homeless, but people in need, because there's a lot more people in need than people know about.
Just doing what we can do to help. Detroit gets a bad rap, and you know what? It shouldn't. I mean, we don't live in the city, but you know what? We feel at home here. I mean, you're always welcomed.
And it's not just the ARC Association or the Homeless Motor Cities Angels helping out here at Roosevelt Park. There are countless numbers of churches and volunteers who also come down to help. Diane Labadie, her husband Bob, and their children and grandchildren have made many sacrifices during their numerous trips from their home in Shelby Township to Roosevelt Park in Detroit. To Diane, their sacrifices seem minuscule compared to the reward it brings when they help someone in need.
The churches that we have that volunteer, they diligently are here every week, and our job is to greet the guests and to make sure that they're getting the things that they need, like the clothes and stuff. And And I guess mine is just kind of like they call me the greeter, you know, so that's kind of my job. But yeah, and we make sure that everybody's got the food set up and ready to go so that these people can get some food and get out of here and get back to their warm spaces, wherever that might be. I'm so touched by the fact that even though some of these people might have alcohol problems or drug problems, you know, we all know somebody that's been there, done that, but just to see them smile for the fact that somebody has given them a hug or said hello to them and know that that possibly might make a difference next week for them or the week after, that somewhere down the line they might get the help that they need. It's just, it touches my heart. It seriously does. And being that I come from a family that has suffered from alcoholism or drugs, it just touches me even more to know that maybe tomorrow or the next day one of these guys might go and get the help they need.
Rudy Hill, or Rude Boy, as he was known in the ranks of the International Big Time Wrestling, is a resident of Southwest Detroit and helps out at Roosevelt Park.
And in this day and age, my friend, hey, there's a lot in need, a whole lot. And we happen to be blessed where we have a roof over our head, we have electricity, we have a nice warm shower, and you know, I love to give back. My son, he's with me. We go to all these together, and we're here to help. That's what we're here to do, you know. And I'll tell you what, when the word gets to us, it goes to our people, to our friends and our family, you know, and our fans. And I urge everyone, get out there and help. You know, take some time to give back. You know, and you'll see what the true blessing is of life. You know, to give back and to put a smile on someone's face. I mean, we did a Christmas party last month, and you wouldn't believe the families that came out. And boy, you want to talk about having a real wake-up call to see little children. The only meal that they were going to get and the only Christmas gifts that they were going to get was through this organization. You know, that's really humbling. You know, and I was glad that even my little kids got to see that and were there on hand. And it's a special thing.
If you would like to help down here at Roosevelt Park on Saturdays, you are more than welcome, as the ARC Association, the Motor City Homeless Angels, or one of the many other groups are always looking for donations.
The bigger charities, they sell stuff. They put it in their store and they sell it to somebody. We don't. Everything we get, we give away. Everything. And we post it. We got so-and-so, give us this. And then this person got it. We post them both so that person sees where their stuff's going. And that's what we don't sell anything. Everything is donated. And we just, we got a warehouse in Dearborn and one in Monroe. And we're working both sides and we're trying to get it done. My grandkids work with me. I got 16 grandkids and 8 kids. They all work with me. The youngest one that helps us is 2. And the youngest now he just turned 1, so when he gets a little larger and a little bigger, he'll be out here helping us.
You don't have to be homeless, we're all just a paycheck away from some kind of devastation, to be honest, and stuff. So, we just get out here and try and help, and you get hooked up with some great organizations when you come out on the streets of Detroit.
It's that we always have a need for containers and things, the styrofoam containers. So like gift cards to Gordon Food Services is great because it allows us to purchase our styrofoam containers. If we need any sort of plasticware and things of that nature. Also, we do take, men's jeans are always in great need. Men's clothing, period. Us women, ladies, let's be honest, we like to collect clothes and then they don't fit 6 months later or we don't like them anymore. We get a lot of women's clothes, and women, even though the numbers have increased in our line here, women make up more like about 15% or less of the people we see here. So we're looking at and 5% children. And so we're looking at, like 60 to 70% men that come through our line. So those kind of donated good hygiene products are also something that's always needed. And so that's the basic of it.
But if you do have time to give or a special skill, you could come down and make quite an impact on one of these groups.
It's not always financial. It could be just to be out here and give someone a smile, or even lend an ear. Those are the biggest things that you could donate. Is a little time. It's not always financial. It's not always raiding the closet or the attic or whatever it is. It's just giving some time and saying, you know what, I care for you, you know, and in a non-judgmental way.
I just want people to be aware of the fact that homelessness isn't just a Detroit thing, it's also to the suburbs. People need to start realizing it's just like with crime or anything else that until we open up our eyes and start looking around, we're not going to see it because that's not what we want to do. But it's here, it's a reality, it's the truth. People are out here on these streets every single day suffering and not being able to have a place to go to. So hopefully we can make a difference for some of them.
It's overwhelming. It really is. They're so grateful, and you know, you just see how happy they are. And you know, like I said, we're out here, we're cold and complaining about it, but you got to look at the other side of the story. They live here, out here. So, you know, when people complain and say we're cold, we at least get to go home to a warm home where they don't. So, you know, that's one of the best things when you see somebody, you give them a warm coat and you see they're excited.
In the past 6 months, I've had 3 guys that have come up and told me they didn't kill themselves because we were out here and they remembered how much we loved them. And the one guy, he was out here, he was a twice honorably discharged veteran. 18 years it took him to get his disability and his papers and things like that. And he said 3 years ago, he was so suicidal. He was just like, forget this. I'm not going through this red tape anymore. And he said, and he saw my face and he heard me say, hang in there, Van. You're going to make it, man. We're here for you. Just remember, we're here for you. We're going to walk with you. And Van is now getting his disability. He's in the programs getting his PTSD taken care of. And they're giving him a HUD-VASH voucher to find a place to live. And to me, that's what it's all about.
I can't even edit that. Good job. Charitable results that you can see. That's what's special about Saturday afternoons here at Roosevelt Park, where you can see changes being made in Detroit and Michigan, one meal, one hug, or one smile at a time.